Good morning, natural gas. It's Thursday, July the 16th, 2026. I'm Tim Beggins, president of Elk Trading Company. And for the spot August natural gas contract, we're up. We're currently trading at 294, even up 1.6 cents or over a little bit of a 0.5% higher. The RSI is trying to turn to the upside. Again, we were too far away from the 13 and 48 period exponential moving averages. We may be catching a bid here from storage because storage today, Celsius is now expecting plus 37. So that's lower than our range recently of 40 to 45, which would be slightly bullish against last year and the 5-year average. Let's see if Celsius Energy is correct. Here's the hourly chart, and we are pushing out above the daily pivot, which came in at 291 today. We are pushing up to the 295.5 first resistance level here. And the RSI is positive, but it is starting to go a little bit sideways. We'll see if this is telling us we're going to go just between the pivot between 291 and 295.5 for today. Perhaps the storage report gives us a better boost. Our next resistance level will be 298.60. So let's take a look at something else a little further down the strip, and this is the April through October strip. And as you can see, it's been pointing lower. It's been pointing lower since the end of last year. Why? We're worried about super El Nino. And because we may not have much of a winter, it looks like the April through October strip continues to be weak. But notice something else here. We are kind of consolidating here. We are well below this down trend line here, and the RSI is approaching oversold conditions. So are we due for a bit of a bounce in April through October strip? We'll find out soon. Let's take a look at the grid. And this is ERCOT. ERCOT Renewables here have 35,000 megawatts of available capacity today at its peak. And we've got load now that is higher than forecast. We're now expected to be over 73,000 megawatts. As a result, this morning, the natural gas is picking up almost 50% of the fuel mix in ERCOT. That's good news there. And let's take a look at the national grid. The pain points here, MISO, right? Looking at almost $800 that is expected to peak out today, this evening around 6 p.m. PJM right behind it here at over 500, almost $50. And of course, SPP and NISO are running between $200 and $250. ERCOT, no. We're looking at maybe getting to $40 if we're lucky today. Same thing for CalSO. CalSO is just a little bit higher, about $50. So good news for ERCOT and CalSO. Pain point here is MISO today. Let's take a look at the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook. And as you can see here, it's below normal from parts of Wisconsin all the way back to Chicago and down through New Jersey. So this isn't great news because our population is weighted here between Chicago, New York, and Boston. So this isn't helping us too much. Texas, all the way over to the southeast into Florida, is expected to be slightly above normal. So let's take a look at the heat risk here. And today, right now, we are looking at over 222,000 of extreme heat risk here. Mainly here, the major heat risk is from the Dakotas back toward Washington, D.C. and back down into Florida. This eases up as we start to see the cooler weather start to arrive. And that starts to arrive on Sunday into the Great Lakes. As you can see, that warm temperature is pushed back toward Kansas here by Monday. The extreme heat risk is into Alabama and parts of Louisiana here, and that continues through Tuesday and then eases up on Wednesday here, pushing back again this extreme heat risk, Arkansas, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana scattered. Let's take a look at the heat index from that 23rd going forward here. And as you can see, that cooler air comes in, but you can see the triple-digit heat risks here are in Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma here, back up toward the 90s here across the East Coast, back up into North Carolina. But as you can see, going really toward the end here, that heat risk is now pushing back up the East Coast toward Chicago. Not much there, it's 83, but look at St. Louis up to 103, so it's not too far away. Same thing, we're starting to look at warmer temperatures creeping up the East Coast as we get toward the end of July. Let's take a look at Europe here. And let's see if it works here. Yep, there's the extreme heat risk in France that pushes further out. We start getting some relief here starting on the 18th here, and the 19th Sunday. This is good news for them, for Germany and France. That warmer temperature gets pushed down into Spain, into lower Italy, towards Sicily, and cooler temperatures are all the way back in the Eastern European countries, even back to Greece and Turkey. They do get some relief here from that extreme heat they've had for several weeks. Let's take a look at TTF, and this is in euros per megawatt hour, and it's up 1.74% today. The RSI is starting to approach oversold condition. This is for the August contract. And again, why? Because storage has got some problems. Yes, we're over 52% full, but we've only got a few more months to go. We're halfway through July. We've got August, September, and October. And that's it, folks. 3.5 months. And we've still got some problems. As you can see, the United Kingdom at 22% is probably our biggest problem right now. Belgium right behind it at 28%. And of course, the Netherlands at 31%. You could see Ukraine is quite low, but that's been normal because of the war. And Sweden at 10% is because it really doesn't have any underground storage. That's just a test facility. And here is the Asian market here. Again, the heat anomaly, wet temperature anomaly, excuse me. This gets warmer as we get toward the end of the forecast period, toward the end of July. As you can see, the warmer temperatures again are confined mainly from Shanghai back up to Beijing here. It's coming off of the desert here, pushing further to the east. There is a little bit of warm temperatures coming into Japan and the Koreas here, but overall, this isn't too bad. This gets warmer again toward the end of the month. We start seeing those very warm temperatures coming back into Shanghai to Beijing. Let's take a look at LNG, and there's 3 ships now. Well, one just departed here. There were 3 this morning here at Sabine Pass. That's good news. Loading up is going very well there. But over here at Golden Pass, nothing is happening yet. So that's not great news there. Let's take a look at Cameron, which is running just under 1.5 BCF at a 1.56 capacity, steady as she goes. That's good news. Freeport, not so good, about 1.2 here at peak here. That is still an estimate. Looks very, very choppy this morning. And let's take a look at Corpus Christi. This is for Creole Trail. There seems to be some open capacity, but last night it showed negative capacity. So we're going to see if this continues. But right now there is some capacity open at Creole Trail. This feeds Sabine Pass. And here is Corpus Christi. Same thing there, over 387,000 open capacity, but it is running over 2.36 BCF. That's steady as she goes. And there's Venture Global here for Calcasieu Pass. And they've been loading just really one vessel at a time. So they have 2 berths. So we're going to see what's going on there, but we haven't found it yet. It is still open capacity of over 400,000. That's been the same for several weeks now. And here's Plaquemines running, well, just a little bit open capacity here. That's unusual. They've been running over, and we're right now open capacity of 23,515. Golden Pass, well, it's down into the 300,000 like it was yesterday, out of 800 to 850,000 open capacity. So we'll see what's happening here, but it is slow but steady. We'd like to see this to ramp up here in the next few weeks, take this closer to that nameplate capacity of 800 to 850,000 MMBTUs. Let's turn to the tropics. And we've got a low chance of development around Florida here, back up into South Carolina into this weekend or early next week. What else is going on? We've got a slight chance of development here in the Eastern Atlantic. Well, let's see if this happens because, boom, shagalaga, we've got more Saharan air layer dust coming across here, another large plume. So if this is the case, I doubt we're going to get any development in the Atlantic anytime soon. As you can see, the dust is pushing into Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, even upwards as high as Oklahoma. It is pushing a massive amount of dust back into Central America at this time. Let's turn to the stocks, and This is the oil and gas E&P sector here. Stocks between $2 and $10 billion have a high short float over 10%, and it's a sea of green. That's good news here because crude and natural gas are higher on the day. Magnolia behind me up 1.06%. So recapping here for the spot August natural gas contract, we're currently trading at 293, up 6 ticks or 0.21%. We're awaiting storage, which Celsius Energy is now plus 37. Consensus was closer toward plus 42 BCF, which would be mostly neutral against last year and the 5-year average. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.